Well, this is obviously a big trip, a big game. It's both very exciting and also very daunting. And I think our approach is it's a great opportunity for the Beaver football program. And I think that as we've gotten started for the week, I think our team will be very excited about this opportunity.
You talked just about the health situation and team. How'd you come out of Stanford health-wise?
We came out in pretty good shape. Jacquizz Rogers has got a little bit of an ankle sprain that is slowing him down getting started this week, but we anticipate him being ready to go. And, you know, we're actually going to gain a couple of players besides that. Marcus Henderson and Mitchell Hunt, who have been ill for quite some time, as you know, will return. And, you know, I think for them, they missed a lot of camp, so conditioning at this point is a factor. But the fact that they could play and might be able to play, you know, Mitchell particularly on the defensive line, you know, be one of our guys that rotate in and not have to play full-time is feasible. And it'll be good to have Marcus Henderson back as a guy that was, you know, going into camp inked in as a starter. So that's good news. Jeremy Perry suited up yesterday. I don't know if he'll be ready to play this week. It depends on how he responds day to day from his practicing, but you know, it was good to see him in gear yesterday. And then Al Afalava will return. Brennan Sim will also return full-time. He's been cleared by the doctor, so he'll work his way into a situation where he may be the third guy instead of Ryan Katz, who we took as an emergency guy to Stanford, but our intentions are to redshirt him.
Do you work much during the week when you have a game where you know there's going to be a big boisterous crowd with noise at all? And if you do, how do you do it? Well,
we either work with noise or with no snap count. You know, basically, when we're in the shotgun, we work on a visual signal for the ball from the quarterback, and then we also work when we're under center with a whisper count by the quarterback, so that basically the only people that really hear him are probably the guard and center. And that way, you know, you get the feeling when you're on the perimeter, whether you're a tight end or a receiver or a running back, that you've got to react to the ball being snapped. Or we're going to probably do that for 2 days, and then tomorrow actually pipe in noise. And so we'll see how, you know, that's what we've done in the past, preparation for places like Autzen.
What about Lyle Moyeville? Could you talk a little more about that, the hit he took? Did you actually see it happen? Were you looking that way? And I know you weren't happy afterwards. Is it a correct way the Pac-10 handles situations like that, as far as whether players should be penalized after the game, or should they be immediately ejected for blatant hits like that? Could you talk more about it?
Well, those decisions are up to the league. You know, I think that I think it definitely was a penalty. I think it was a cheap shot, and I think it was accordingly penalized during the game. Now, you know, after that, all those other decisions about what happens from there are up to the league.
You always want to have your running game going, and how much of importance is it this week? You want to get it going again, and then against Penn State?
Well, you know, I told you guys, but after the game, we don't want to play in those games where we're throwing 54 passes. That's usually not a good sign for the Beavers. So we would like to get back to being balanced, and that's where the daunting task of this Penn State game comes into play. They are very physical up front, as you would imagine, and so, you know, to get some consistency in the ground game will be big for us, and something that is definitely part of our plan, and the balance thing will be crucially important in this game.
Rotation of Ryan McCants and Jacquizz the same?
Yeah, we will determine that as we go, for sure, Cliff, but I anticipate both of them playing.
And then James Rogers, is it difficult for you to be able to find ways to get balls in his hands just because of all the things he does, or is it kind of the fun part of what you do?
Well, I think that James is, you know, I think he had 200 all-purpose yards the other day in the game with his returns, and he caught some balls, and then he ran again for some pretty good yardage, and you know, what our biggest deal right now is the fact that he and Shane have shared a position, And you know, it's obvious that Shane was very productive in the game also, and so, you know, finding ways to have them either play together or you know, do a good job with that rotation is really what we're after.
Mike, I know Penn State traditionally pounds the ball. I know they did in their opener. With having Afalava back, do you think that you're going to be that much better maybe this week with the run defense going up against Penn State?
Well, I think it's going to be good to have Al back, and we all pay a price for the consequences of his actions basically last week, but he will definitely add to our team. And does that necessarily mean that we'll shore up, you know, some of those plays that we gave up, those long runs in particular? Those may or may not have had to do with the safety. Maybe he could have made the play down the field, but you know, I think that the guys that played safety did a nice job for us, Suesi and Austin Hall. I mean, they were solid players in the game, but it will definitely be good. Al is one of our best players. It'll be good to have him back.
Is the game extra? Hello. Is the game extra special for you and maybe this team to go up against a Joe Paterno coach team?
Well, you know, it's an honor to be playing Penn State. You know, the Coach Paterno is not only a legend at Penn State, he's a national legend as far as college football is concerned, and you know, I think that he's a guy that makes us all very proud of our profession. So for us as coaches, it's both a great situation and an ideal opportunity, and I think it's the same way for players. I mean, this is a program that has established themselves for decades as a very good football program. So you know, I think that it's an exciting opportunity.
Mike, your run defense, you give up 210 against Stanford, and Penn State runs the ball better with Royster and Stephon Green. Can you talk about that matchup a little bit and what you guys need to do to shore that up this week?
Well, major factors in the game, Paul, will be, you know, our ability to control their running game and to be very sound, you know, whether it's gap responsibility or fill responsibility from the secondary. I think that's very, very important. And then, you know, the other side of the ball, the line of scrimmage will also be very big. I think that that's going to be the physical nature of this game will be on both fronts. And I think that's a real strength that they have, so we've got to play well both sides of the ball up front.